All right, let's dive in. We're about to pull back the curtain on this massive, invisible war that's being fought every single second of every day. It's a battle for your money, happening on a front line made of pure data, where the soldiers are actually algorithms.
You know, you can just forget everything you've seen in the movies. The biggest heists in the world aren't happening in some bank vault. Nope, they're happening silently, right now, through millions of digital transactions. It's a crime that's constant, it's global, and it's getting more and more sophisticated.
So just how big is this digital crime wave? Well, the numbers are genuinely staggering. And this doesn't just affect the banks, it affects all of us.
Globally, we're talking about annual losses to credit card fraud that have blown past $32 billion. That is an enormous amount of money just being siphoned out of the economy, one bad transaction at a time.
And get this, it's not a problem that's standing still. It's actually accelerating. Just between 2021 and 2022, the rate of global fraud shot up by 35%. The criminals are getting faster, which means our defense has to get way, way smarter.
And this has a real human impact. It's not just some corporate number on a spreadsheet. A huge majority of us, 71% of consumers, are actively worried about this stuff. It creates this low-level anxiety every time we go to buy something online.
Okay, so with a problem this big and moving this fast, the old ways of doing things just don't cut it. You literally can't hire enough people to watch billions of transactions in real time. So this is where we bring in the new detective on the beat, artificial intelligence.
And really, it all comes down to one thing: speed. An AI model can scan hundreds of different variables for a single purchase in the milliseconds between you clicking buy and getting that order confirmed message. It's hunting for these hidden patterns and red flags that are completely invisible to a human.
All right, for all you AI students out there, this next part is where the theory you're learning about really hits the road. We're going to peek inside the detective's brain and see exactly how those fundamental models from your classes become the core weapons in this fight.
So first up is supervised learning. The easiest way to think about this is like an AI studying for a huge test using a giant stack of flashcards. It's been fed millions and millions of past transactions, and every single one is neatly labeled. This was fraud, or this one was legit. So by churning through all those examples, the AI gets incredibly good at recognizing what fraud has looked like in the past. It becomes an expert at spotting the known tactics. But what about the crimes it's never seen before? The brand new schemes? Well, that's where unsupervised learning comes in. This model is more like a detective showing up to a fresh crime scene. It doesn't have any pre-labeled flashcards. It just looks at all the data in front of it and asks one simple question: what here looks weird? What just doesn't fit?
And this is absolutely critical for catching new fraud tactics as they emerge. A sudden purchase from a device you've never used before, in a country you're not in? That's weird. An unusually large order from a company that just launched yesterday? That's also weird. Unsupervised learning is what flags these anomalies for a closer look. And then you've got the specialist, deep learning. Think of this as the super profiler. It doesn't just see individual clues, it understands the entire criminal conspiracy. Using these complex neural networks, it can find these subtle, almost invisible connections between, say, a tiny anomaly in transaction time, a specific IP address, and a weird item in the shopping cart. It's how you uncover sophisticated fraud rings that other models would totally miss.
And this right here just sums up the whole process beautifully. All that raw data about the transaction goes in, the machine learning engine, which is often a mix of all three models we just talked about, does its thing, and what pops out on the other side is a simple, actionable fraud score. And that score tells the bank instantly: approve it, decline it, or maybe just double check.
So let's just nail this down and connect the dots directly to your coursework. That supervised learning you're studying? In the real world, that powers predictive analytics, forecasting risk based on what's happened before. And unsupervised learning? Well, that's the engine behind anomaly detection systems, which are our first line of defense against brand new threats.
Okay, so we've covered the theory. Now let's go see these digital detectives out in the wild. Because this isn't just an academic exercise. These AI systems are deployed at a massive scale by the biggest names in finance, working 24/7 to protect every single one of us.
Yeah, this is what the front lines actually look like. These are the digital command centers where analysts are overseeing AI systems that are screening a constant, overwhelming flood of global financial data. The stakes here are just incredibly high.
And the major players are all in. I mean, just look at these numbers. Mastercard's AI blocks $20 billion in fraud every single year. When you swipe your Visa, its system is analyzing over 500 different data points, your location, the merchant, your device, all in a fraction of a second. And a service like Stripe Radar shows the power of the network. It learns from millions of businesses, so a new fraud tactic spotted in Germany can instantly help protect a small shop in California.
And you know what? The results really do speak for themselves. These systems can hit accuracy rates up to 98%. But just as important, they dramatically reduce false positives. You know, those incredibly annoying times when your own legitimate purchase gets blocked for no reason? AI is getting that delicate balancing act just right.
So it's clear AI is winning the battle, but the war is far from over. This is a constant technological arms race, which means we have to be looking at what's coming next. And it's so important to remember this isn't some magic bullet. It's not a perfect system, at least not yet. There are some major hurdles. You've got this minefield of data privacy laws like GDPR. You need massive investment in servers and infrastructure. And, as you AI students already know, finding specialized talent is a huge challenge, all while you're constantly trying to perfect that balance between security and a smooth customer experience.
So when we look ahead, the near future is all about explainability, making AI's decisions less of a black box. But the long-term vision, well, that's even more exciting. People are talking about the potential for zero-fraud ecosystems, maybe powered by the insane processing capabilities of quantum computing. I mean, imagine a world where digital theft is virtually impossible. And that leaves us with one final critical question. As you, the next generation of AI experts, start building these incredible new defenses, you have to consider the flip side. Because if AI is the ultimate detective, what happens when the criminals start using it as the ultimate weapon? Something to think about.